Hi there. I want to make this a part two of, is King Charles really a king reptile? And I don't care if he is or he isn't. I just want people to just really be careful about just freely calling anything a reptilian. Now, I talked about a young lady who has a channel that she does a lot of, she has a lot of visions, and her visions check out according to some of the things I see as well. Sometimes I can go a year without looking at her channel, and I can see a whole lot that's going on. And then I look at some of the videos that she made based on some of the things I've seen, and it definitely checks out. So whenever she see that she's hearing something, from the Most High, like I said, when a person, spirit don't care what folks believe in if they're able to get to that person clearly. It doesn't matter whatever you might believe in. If spirit is able to get through to you for you to be a vessel to get the message out, you're going to be used. But I was talking about this lady is because regardless if King Charles is a reptilian or not, she, like I said, condemned all reptilians, not knowing that I think I was so hard on her is because she could be condemning herself. She's mostly condemning so-called black people than she is condemning the royal family. Now, it has come that this is, the King Charles is the king reptile, but I'm going to say this too, because I said they give me, for some reason, I see vampire with them. I had a vision. Sometimes I see vision. I saw a vision of this castle that looked like it could be in a place called Transylvania. Like it was all gray outside, just looked dark, and a huge castle. Reminds me of, the royal family. And it looked like somewhere in Transylvania. That's the vision I had. Like what we see on television looks all cute, but what really is, and I've seen it more than once, I think I seen the same thing about maybe 2 or 3 days ago. This looked like some castle, but it's old, like 200-300 years old. And it looked like something out of Transylvania. And that's why I keep feeling the vampire more with them. But let's listen. She said the Most High revealed that is the King Reptile, and I'm not going to disagree if that's what she said the Most High said. Because I just have not seen that this lady has been incorrect. I will say this, though. King Charles is an illusion. And that's what I'm going to say. Most of the people that we see in power, that we think is in power, they are an illusion. And so when she says the King Reptile, I agree that it's an entity that is using the likeness of what appears to be King Charles. I'm going to say that. There is an entity that is using the likeness of what appears to be King Charles. How many people have ever really met him in person? We never ever get to meet these folks. I don't want to meet them. But I'm just saying we never really get to meet these people. And so I just see him on camera. I just see him on television. So this is an image of a person. That is an avatar. I do believe there is a King Reptile behind the avatar of King Charles, because this, according to what I keep seeing, this is a computer game. It's a virtual reality. King Charles, as we see King Charles, looks like some Caucasian man or whatever, European man. That is an avatar. That is an illusion. So I'm not going to disagree that there's a King Reptile behind him, but do you know who this King Reptile really is? And like I said, the reason why I say that, because I see a lot of brown people keep feeling like, brown women especially, not the men. Seems like the men just are much more awake, and it's the women that are asleep. But brown women especially, it seems like they just go in on the reptiles not knowing who they are. You can't judge all of them the same. That's like judging all the human beings the same. And the reptiles are a very advanced species. I would be careful judging them, saying, well, they're not human, but they're more advanced than humans. So why would I judge them? Like, they're more advanced. They are. So why would I judge something more advanced than a human? But this is what I want to say though. As she was going in, I felt like I was more annoyed with her because I can tell that she herself is a reptilian, and I don't mean that in a bad way, because I don't have anything against reptiles at all. I have anything against nefarious entities. I don't care if they're greys. I don't care if they're vampires. I don't care if they're gargoyles. Anything nefarious, I have a problem with them because their agenda does not match mine. It's not about judgment. See, because I'm careful with judging too. Their agenda do not match mine, period. It's not about judging. Okay? And so as I was listening to her, like I say, she say some good stuff. I listen to her because as far as her message that comes from the Most High, it's not deceptive. For some reason, I saw this big S that came up to a vision. Now, I'm careful with the word S because it can mean spider, it can mean snake, and I have dealt with spider and snake as it comes to witchcraft and dealing with a lot of that. And snake, I've dealt with snakes too, right? It's a snake in a very bad way, like some, things like that. So I have to be careful how that is given to me, this S word. And it was, the Spirit told me, no, she is a snake. But she's not a snake in a bad way. She comes from a serpent bloodline. Now it's clear to me why she's so doggone patriarchal, because she's powerful. It seems like some of the most powerful women, I don't want to say that they're more powerful because they're still asleep, because there's some that's waking up. And the reason why I won't say that, oh, they're so powerful because they're still asleep, because I don't know how many times that she's been here opposed to as, versus how many times I've been here. So I don't want to say because she's still asleep right now, oh, some of the most powerful women are still asleep. That might not be true. She's a young soul. I can tell that she's a young soul. So it ain't because she's more powerful. She just got more growing to do in the soul. And her soul has more growing to do. My soul is at the point of, okay, it's time to come on back up. That's just where I am. Okay? No telling how many times I had to keep coming here, so it's no point. It's not, oh, who's more powerful and who's not. So I didn't mean to, but it was shown to me that she is a snake. She's a serpent. She's from the serpentine. But she criticizes the serpentine line. She talks about the doggone royal family. Oh, they're from the serpentine line. No, you're from the serpentine line. But that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. That's why she sees so clearly. I think that's why she can see so clearly. Now, she says it's the Most High, but the message is going to come to who can get it. Don't matter if she's going to believe in a male, masculine God. She can still see, and that's it. The Spirit going to use it because she can see, she can hear. And she going to be used. Because the message is still getting out to the masses. The message is still getting out. But I can see why she seems to be so on point. That serpentine bloodline, I think that's, I feel like I see that. But it's not a bad thing. The serpentine for me is feminine. The serpent to me is feminine and not necessarily masculine. Now the serpentine, they also talk about the kundalini too. When you hear other countries, people talk about the serpentine, that's also about the kundalini rising. So when Bobby Hemmett said that black people were reptilians, but he was talking about the serpentine, talking about the kundalini rising, that's kind of how he meant it. That's not necessarily how I mean it when I say I know what people look like. Like I see the real true self come through their avatars, like what they really look like. And that's what I mean by that. So yeah, I'm sure he's correct about the kundalini rising. Okay. But yeah, there could be a King Reptile entity that's coming through him, a reptile that rules this dimension. Let me tell you, you listen to that song by Beyonce called Formation. There's a part on this song where she says, I twirl on my haters, albino alligators. So yeah, the reptilians, yeah, she talked about the lizards though, but you have those alligators that kind of rule certain dimensions too. but they can't go any higher. They can't rise any higher. Even though they're reptilians, they're still more advanced than a human, but they cannot rise any higher. These particular reptilians are still more advanced than the humans in like 3D. You know, but these are particular beings, reptilians, that cannot rise higher, and so they're going to work hard to really make sure that there are others that do not rise in consciousness back to who they are. So basically, they're reptilians that war against other reptilians. There are other reptilians who I would call them more like demigods. I'm going to say it like this. There are reptilians that I would call more like demigods that are at war against other reptilians that are much higher, that were much higher in frequency, much higher in consciousness. And those are like the real gods, see. And the demigods want to make sure that the gods don't rise up in consciousness. I just say it like that. Especially the feminine, divine feminine. Okay? I just felt like talking about that again. But anyway, that's it, and I'll talk later.